10 minutes of daily reality coming at you today. We're going to talk a little bit about masturbation today. Not my penis, not John's penis. Maybe your penis. We're going to talk a little bit about what your eyes are tricking you into seeing. We're going to talk about the dysfunctional world of the human mind, body, and soul. We're living in a soulless community now. We're staring at pictures on screens. We're dating people based on evaluation. We're evaluating texts like they're the greatest things in the entire world. People will tell you they had a conversation with someone, yet they never even heard their voice. Most people are just pictures on the internet, and fucking porn is ruining everything. John, man, what the fuck is wrong with guys who are constantly wanking themselves to porn?
David, this is a serious, serious matter. You and I both been coaching men and women for a long time, and there used to be questions I didn't ask, but I didn't think about it that much because porn's not a part of my life, luckily. But then what I started to realize is it's a part of a lot of men and women's lives. Like not like a part, but it's literally changing their sexuality, and a lot of people don't understand. And I want to. This point's going to go really deep. It's not going to be some boring thing just about porn. That porn literally is a drug that mutates your brain, disturbs your sexuality, disturbs your ability to connect with people of the opposite sex, and really screws up your sexuality, and so that you can't even just have regular attraction with someone. You can't just have regular sex anymore. Everything's about these graphic, brutal images. And that everything has to then can't just be this natural pheromones, the natural connection that two people who want to have intimacy together have. So I'm not saying that there's not a small place where people can watch videos and all that, but I'm saying that this porn doesn't just go from youjizz.com or pornhub.com or
strokemeself.com.
Yeah, strokemyself.com.
Me-self, because people don't fucking fill in complete sentences anymore. You ever get emails from people, John? And you're like, what the fuck are they talking about, right? They're writing, you think to yourself, wow, they never ever, C-U-Z, LOL, ha ha ha, because she's going to the free, people don't even speak in complete sentence anymore. So strokemeself.com is probably the biggest fucking masturbation portal on the internet.
Yeah, it sounds like a great new, maybe that's one we'll coin.
Oh yeah, maybe that is. Maybe it's a masturbation.
Well, it's big business. We'll also just give in and join the herd. But seriously, this goes further. This goes further than that. You could say, "Oh, I don't watch porn. That's not my thing." Are you on Tinder? Are you on any of these dating apps where you swipe endlessly at people's images? As we talked earlier,
that's
I think
porn.
Yeah, that's porn, man. It is, and you're just looking. Look at this girl's ass. Look at her yoga pants. Look at the way, and then the girls. Now, if you look at and listen, women, let's be honest. When we were growing up, you'd sneak a peek at a Playboy magazine, and there'd be girls like making like these suggestive poses. That is literally the exact poses that every single girl on all these dating apps are showing me. They're showing me their ass. They're showing me their abs. They're showing me their pushing their ass out, pushing their breast out. Everything's sexualizing themselves. And they're putting that out like as if it's just normal. Like what the fuck? Now I don't want to sound like I'm not religious. I like it as a man. Sure, I want to see it. But then I realize I'm being duped. I'm being tricked. I'm being trapped, taking all my greatness and I see it happening to all the men around me, taking the greatness that resides in our DNA, the greatness that created this world, the greatness, and it's getting us basically putting pussy on our brain all day, pussy and ass on our brain all day, and we're trapped in the physical. Tinder, Instagram, these are not great tools. These are not great things that help us connect. This has helped us literally disconnect from who we really are, great connectors, and get us trapped in this physical realm. Now listen, I like sex. I like women. I'm drawn to them. But I'm telling you, people aren't getting what they want. They're just getting numbed, and they're getting serotonin increases the same as they would by taking a drag of a cigarette. And it's basically, or popping a Prozac. It's basically keeping people stuck from living a real life. That's what I have to say.
Amen, brother, man. Let me tell you also, too, it's like, I tell women this all the time. Post your little fucking ass pictures on Instagram, and basically you become a masturbation gram. Men are masturbating to fucking Instagram girls nonstop. Men are literally doing double searches and playing with themselves as they look at pictures of you on Facebook. And I agree with you. We've all become numbing. We're evaluating each other. And we've talked about this on many podcasts. We're evaluating each other based on pictures. We're no longer really giving each other the time of day anymore. If you've ever dissected, and which I have done many times, I've dissected clients' texts. It's unbelievable how unengaged people truly are, how hard it is to get any type of conversation going, because what happens is the dopamine is released not only from all the porn that's being watched and all the way people are getting off on watching pictures, but it's the illusion that there's this paradox of choice, that you constantly have more and more people coming in. Why should I go out with this person when I can go home tonight and swipe and see more people? The dating apps have figured out how to keep the traffic on the app and not to have the people outside the app, because it's the same way, John, with our fucking food. I watched a documentary the other day on sugar and juicing and other things. And, you and I are really big into being clean and healthy. Do you realize that if you take a look at the ingredients of most of your foods, there is always some type of sugar that's added to lots of foods that don't need sugar? Why? Because it releases the same dopamine. It makes you all of a sudden feel, I need more. I need more. You ever bite into a bag of chocolate covered pretzels? You're not going to eat one. Salt.
It was interesting. As you said that, you did that thing we do, where you had your little regurgitation moment.
I had the regurgitation moment because I fucking had these falafels tonight,
Yeah. Oh, really? Falafels?
Yeah, falafels, and I just kind of need to sit upright, because you and I, if we lay down after a fucking meal, regurgitation moment, because obviously we did the food combo. But regurgitation moments aside,
let's be honest, though, the reason you're eating like that, and this is another reason about having a girlfriend. It's like you can be have great diet, but every time you get a girlfriend, you always have to start compromising. I see you eating chocolate bars and falafel balls, right?
No. Girlfriend eats really well. I'm good with that, man. She's healthy,
she's cool. She's not pushing you off the deep end or something.
No, but we are being duped in this society to fucking consume as much of things that release the dopamine from the food that's tainted with sugar. How many times have you and I gone into a smoothie store and they fucking add agave? We have to look.
Man, they load it. Yeah,
they load it.
Now, you're really good at not doing that stuff. I'm still working on it.
Yeah. You love to do that food combo, man. I love when we're eating and all of a sudden the meal is great and you're like, yeah, I got to go have one of these balls of gas, I call them, right? Because it is.
Sure.
It loads you, but it's a dopamine rush. And I think that's what's happening in all levels of our society. We're being constantly marketed so we can release the dopamine, and we're home alone most of the time, getting fatter and lonelier.
And that's, it really is this is really interesting, because you and I have both made a life out of helping people create lives, helping people not just say hi to people and stuff, which we do, teach them that, which is important, to helping people to express themselves, how to communicate who they are and like themselves so that other people will like them too, how to get them to not be boring, essentially, how to get them to take bold risks, but also teach them how to build a life based on their interests and passions. And what's happening to people is they I don't like bars, but at least people used to have to go out and get dressed and go out and practice social skills to meet people. Now they're literally laying in bed and just swiping. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say something bold. And maybe I'll get in trouble for it. I don't care anymore. I'm crypto rich now. Say what you want, but I'll say this. I think a big part of why women hate men now The modern women hate men.
Oh, we going back to women hating men again? Because that was last week's podcast.
I know, but I'm
And,
saying
and, and that you could say it again. That got people really riled up. So if you want to get them riled up, part two, I'm all for it. Fucking
well, I mean, a big part of it is that and women have put themselves in these apps, Tinder, Instagram. Let's just stay there. Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And this isn't all women, but a lot of women, especially younger women, have sexualized themselves in these pictures, like as if they're all an American Apparel ad, which is in our face all the time.
right. And we know what he did with all the girls on the wall, right? You know the rumor about him.
No, what did he do?
All the underage girls that were up on the wall were all girls that he once fucked.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there was some really good rumors about him going around.
Well, I mean, he's been sued, and they went out of business, right?
Oh yeah, they're out of business. His clothes suck too.
Yeah, they're cheap. But let's so and that's terrible that guy did that, and so it's not even funny, right? But yeah, he's shoving it in our face, and I'm not saying these images should be illegal or any of that or banned or people shouldn't do what they want or women shouldn't sexualize themselves. I'm not saying that. Do what you want. Right? I'm not saying that. Do what you want. Everyone's free to do what they want. I'm not anti-women or anti-feminism or anti-anything. I'm just saying these are things that are happening, and they're having real consequence. And I believe that the consequence of that is that now you're putting maybe women didn't understand, or maybe they do, or maybe certain women didn't understand that when you put sexual imagery of yourself out, and on a dating app or on Instagram, men are going to sexualize you because men are way more visually stimulated than women. That's just the truth. That's why there's videos of men walking down the street looking at girls' asses, because we're visually stimulated. We're just stimulated, whereas women aren't stimulated to that degree like that. They're not. And also, men are more wired, throughout our evolution to be able to have sex with multiple women. That's true. Where if we've tried to curb that by having monogamous relationships now, which is great, whatever you want. But the point is that a lot of women are putting themselves out there like that, younger women especially, constantly pumping it in these guys' faces. And then for the first time in history, women could just have guys come straight over to their apartment or meet them very quickly and then go have sex with them. And there's a lot of liberation in that. Of course, they're not as wired as men are to do that. And of course, men were 100% objectifying them. They weren't trying to get to know them. There was no courtship. There were no more gentlemen because there was no more game. It was just like swipe, let's meet. And in the early days of those swipe apps, that was like rampant. Now people just swipe and they hardly even meet anymore, to be truthful, right? Anyway, So, but it caused such a frustration, such an aggravation, such a resentment towards men, because that's how they were now seeing men. They were seeing the baseness in men, but they were also eliciting it from them. So that's my take on that, and that to me, there's a big part of this sort of then that Aziz Ansari thing, like, oh, this isn't just him, this is how all men are. Well, that's what these girls that are on dating apps, because they refuse to go out and be human and be social, and they're not taking actual alpha men, they're taking beta men, because that's who's really on the the dating apps are beta men who don't take risks, men who don't want to go out and improve themselves, men who aren't bold. So now you're getting guys who now, because maybe they're kind of cute and they have there's something interesting about them to you, and you're meeting them, but they don't have skills of being a leader of a man. They don't have they haven't worked on themselves and transcended their fears and limits. They haven't actually gone out and become a real man. And now you're dating and bringing them back to your bedroom, and you're finding out that this doesn't feel good. So all men are bad. So I'm telling you, all men aren't bad. You've decided to put yourself out there in a certain way that sexualize yourself. You elicited the baseness in base men and weak men who don't have the courage or boldness to go out and meet real women in a real way. And that's what your reality is. What do you think of that, David? What do you think of my hypothesis?
I like the hypothesis, but we're out of time. We're going to bring you back tomorrow to maybe continue this hypothesis, because we're going to talk tomorrow about the reason why people are using apps is because people are so consumed with not knowing how to be an individual anymore. We're going to talk about individualism tomorrow, which I think is really important. So I want you all to come back tomorrow, because individualism is where the world needs to go back to, because everybody have just become so blanketly boring. And that's it, man. Real
Amen.
stuff. Amen,
Amen.
baby.
You got me
Amen.
fired up. I can't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait for more. Hopefully we'll come in a minute, because we want to just get this day over with. All right, man. John Keegan, Awaken Lifestyle. David Wygant, davidwygant.com. Spread the word, spread the love. Self-help that doesn't suck.
See you tomorrow.